Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to the Wyfe Up YouTube channel and podcast. I'm about to hit the record button, so let's go. Hello, and welcome to the Wyfe Up podcast. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so grateful that you're here, that you stopped by to spend time with me. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you for coming back to hang out with me again. I truly appreciate it. So my name is Deetra and I am your host. And let's get started. So before I begin, there's two things. Number one, if you are listening to the podcast, I am also recording this, filming this, because I have a YouTube channel of the same name. So if you're a visual person just like I am, and you like to see people as they speak, please head on over to my YouTube channel as well and watch from there. And if you like the content, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really enjoy doing this because I believe in marriages. I'm passionate about marriages. I'm passionate about covenant marriages, and I fight for them. So that's what I do. So if you want to fight with me, please join me. Also, I like to start with a quick prayer. Heavenly Father, our Abba, our King, our everything, thank you for this opportunity to hang out with the Wyfe Up Fam today. And thank you, Lord, for the topic and for using me, using these lips of clay, God. I just want to be a vessel. Ultimately, I just want to praise you and to glorify your name. So I thank you that you speak through me today and let me be able to reach as many wives as I possibly can, and husbands too. And I thank you for this opportunity. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. So let's get started. As you can tell in the title, it says 10 things wives want from their husbands, but what about them? And so basically that's what this means. Let me explain. I went on this website, it's called verywellmind.com, and they typed in, actually what I did was type in 10 things that wives want from their husbands, and this was one of the ones that popped up. And so I looked at the list and I liked the list, and I was like, okay, let's unpack that. Let's talk about that. But what I really wanted to know from this list, and we have needs, we as wives have different needs and wants and things, but I've learned in my marriage that when I'm asking for something, I check myself to see if I'm giving the same thing to my husband or a version of it, right? Because a lot of times as wives, let's be real, we get caught up in our work, our kids. Kids are huge. So let me just say kids, work, the household, the chores, our feelings, our friends, our parents, our kids. Did I say kids? Our kids, our husbands. But, sometimes we get so caught up in everything that's going on in our world that we don't stop to think about what's going on in his world. And so basically, I just wanted to reverse the things that are on this list and see how we can apply that to our husbands. So let's get started. So the very first one on the list is to feel loved. And I would say, obviously, right? Duh. All women want to feel loved, want to be loved, want to feel loved. But let me just say that our husbands also want to feel loved. And so in this article, it says everyone wants to know they're loved, and wives rarely tire of hearing the words "I love you" from their husbands. But showing your spouse how you feel can be equally important as telling her, right? And so I agree. There are some women, right? Because we're all different, but there are some women that want to hear "I love you" all the time. If their husband said "I love you" 3 times a day, it's like, oh, I feel loved, right? Oh my gosh. And then some women are like, listen, I don't want to hear it. I want you to show me, get into those chores or help me out with the kids, come home and tell me, babe, go take a nice, go run me a bubble bath. Run me a bubble bath, light the candles, have some wine next to it, and just say, babe, I got the kids for the next 3 hours. That's love. Oh, whew. Some of us would be like, I love you, take the kids for 3 hours. Say, I love you, take the kids for 3 hours. Oh. Take the kids for 3 hours. You can tell me I love you later, right? So we all have, there are certain things, some of us are different. Some women want to hear it, some women are cool on it. But here's my question. The same way that we are wanting to feel loved, our husbands are wanting to feel loved too. And so when you're saying that, I want you to stop and think, how can I love on him today? What have I done to make him feel loved? A lot of times we forget their love language, or sometimes us wives don't even know it. For some husbands, hearing I love you is amazing. And he's just like, wow, my wife loves me. But for a lot of husbands, it's the actions. Love is sitting next to him during a football game. And for some husbands, just sitting there, her being right there is great. And for some husbands, her being right there and also knowing what's going on in the game and getting mad when the ref says something, that the husband doesn't like, we jumping on it too, because we're like, that was unfair, that's BS, right? And for some husbands, leaving him alone while he watches the game and sits with a beer in peace with no noise, no kids, no wife in the ear, like just give him that 2 hours, that's love. What is your husband's love language? Can I just say that for all of these, what I've learned over the years is that when I'm gifting my husband and giving my husband that type of attention, when I'm like putting his needs first and saying, wait, what about him? Can I just say that it gets reciprocated? Because when he sees how tender I am with him, it just evokes something inside of him to want to be the same tender with me. Like, I just want to love on my wife because she takes really good care. That my wife really loves me. I just want to do for her. I just want to, whatever it is that she needs, I want to do that for her. That's what my husband does for me. Look, my husband is the best when it comes to just loving on me. But that doesn't just come from him waking up on a Saturday saying, I just want to love on my wife. No, it's what happened Friday night. Can I be real? It's what happened Friday night in the wee hours of the Saturday morning. And he wakes up and he's like, babe, can I get you something? You get what I'm saying? Like, what is his love language? Because when you're showing him that type of love, he'll give it back if you got a really good man. And most of us have really good men. Even if you don't think he is at the moment, you marry him. So if you married him, you probably married a really good guy. Just because you might be drifting apart doesn't mean he's still not a good guy. You just got to dig deep and find it. And how do we pull that out of him? We pull the love out of him by giving him love. I'm telling you, just saying. That was free. Okay, so the second one is understanding and forgiveness. And the writer said mood swings. He talked about menopause, hormonal, things of that nature. Okay, so what it could have been a she. What this person who wrote this was referencing was, yes, unfortunately, us women do have the occasional mood swing, or maybe going through PMS, or for some menopause, whatever. Hormones might be like the pregnancy. Hormones might be like this. Like, we definitely got that in this stick, right? And so he says understanding and forgiveness. So sometimes and it's not always because of this, but let's just say you're not in the best of moods, you're moody, you're not nice to your husband, you don't say nice things, or you just have an attitude, and then, you go to apologize later and say, babe, I'm sorry. It's just because of this, right? That's why I was acting that way. You want him to be understanding of those things and forgive you. Okay. So here's my question then. Are you understanding of what's going on in his life? Are you understanding of what he's going through? And do you forgive him for things he may have said, right? So one thing that I know, because I know I married a good guy, because I know how loving my husband is, because I know how much he loves me and how much he respects me. So occasionally, because we're human, we do get into arguments. Occasionally, he may be in a bad mood and he may say something to me out of pocket, right? He may say something to have me go, what? Right? But I know better. And I know enough to say, what's going on with my baby? What's going on with my man? What's going on with my boo? What's going on with my husband? Like, what is going on with him? because he doesn't normally talk to me like that. So I know that if he's talking to me like that, then something's going on with him. And 99.99% of the time, my husband, if he says something to me that's like a little, like I said, out of pocket or, off kilter, he will come back to me later that day or the next day and just say, babe, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I said. I'm sorry. I was just stressed out over blank. And I'm like, I know, babe. You don't even need to apologize. He was like, well, I just wanted to. And I was like, well, I just wanted you to understand that I knew that you were stressed out about something, and I figured it was because of this, and that was what was building up, and that's why you spoke to me in that manner. And I forgive you. Of course I forgive you. I love you. We make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And so what has your husband done recently that you are angry with him about? Can you offer him that same forgiveness, right? Can you also put yourself in his shoes? And as much as we want him to put himself in our shoes, we want him to be able to understand that we're going through stress and so on and so forth. He gets the same thing. The same way you want him to treat you, you should be willing to offer that same treatment to him. Understanding and forgiveness. Because believe it or not, there are going to be things we're never going to understand, because we're never going to know what it's like to be a man. We're never going to know that. We're not. Okay? So the man has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he's just trying to make it through life sometimes, and it's just hard. And so, yeah, you have to offer that to him as well. So the third thing on the list is real conversation. It says you may want to talk about your feelings or what went on in your day. Oh, what about him? That's what I say. Learn about what's important to him. So they talk about real conversations, right? Because a lot of times on both sides, right, us wives may feel like our husbands don't understand us. Our husbands, they're not even listening to what we have to say, right? Sometimes we hit them straight as they walk in the door. They didn't even get their shoes off yet. And we're like, and he's like, okay, babe, all right. Can I get my shoes off? Let me just sit down for a second. Like, he's had a hard day. And we have too. That's why we want to talk to him, right? And sometimes we can feel like the conversation, he just heard the surface level. He's not really understanding. Can I just tell you that they feel the same exact way? They feel that we don't hear them. We don't understand them, right? My husband has said to me multiple times, don't just listen to me, hear me. Or don't just hear me, listen to me. I was listening, I promise. Okay, you get what I'm saying? He's like, I really want you to understand what it is that I'm trying to get across. And so men feel that way. They feel like sometimes that they can't even talk to us. That's also another conversation. They feel like they can't have a strong conversation with us or a real conversation with us because we're going to be in our feelings, number one. We're not going to understand what he's saying because we only heard a part of the conversation. Right? I'll give you an example. Let's just say your husband said to you that he noticed a pretty woman today. And in noticing her, he thought, you know what? Let me go home to my wife, because maybe I need to be around my wife, or maybe it's been a while since we've been intimate or something like that. And, I just need to get home to my wife. And he's expressing this to you, but all you heard was he noticed a pretty woman today, right? You're like, you know, really, what did she look like? And what made her so pretty? And, oh, I'm glad you out there noticing women. He said a whole nother thing after that was the important part that you missed, because all you heard was that. And we as women sometimes do that, right? We're not listening to their hearts. We're not hearing what he's truly trying to say. And what he was trying to say in that particular moment, which was just an example, what he was trying to say in that particular moment was, I need to spend more time communicating with you, or I need to spend more time being close to you, because I noticed that I'm noticing other women. So I need to get home to my wife and reconnect. That's it. But some women don't even let him talk. So men want to have real conversations with us. Like, you know what, babe, I feel like, I feel like you're not as sexy as you used to be, and I would love for you to get back to that. And what you heard was, oh, you think I'm overweight? Or you think, I'm getting old? Or you think, oh, I got on sweats because I'm running behind these kids. Like, you dial it back. He's just trying to tell you that he wants to see you look sexy again. And there's nothing wrong with a husband telling his wife that. Because it's his eyes that have to look at you. You want your husband to always look at you with adoring eyes, then you need to keep it sexy. And it has nothing to do with weight. Not like you guys think, right? This is a whole nother, right? Let me just really touch on that. I know that there are women that are thinking that, this is a sidebar. I know there are women that are thinking that they don't look their best. They don't look the way they did before they started having kids, so on and so forth. And can I just tell you that sexiness isn't about your weight. Sexiness is about how you carry it, how you carry yourself, your attitude. So you may be 50 pounds overweight, more than you would like to be, right? In your mind. But I can tell you that if you put that, you put on some fishnet stockings or whatever is sexy to your husband, cinch that waist in and listen, bustier, get the listen, and walk in the room and be like, what's up? He'll be like, I'm telling you, it's not about that. It's about you, your confidence, and how you carry that. So that was just a sidebar. So let's go back. Real conversations. If your husband wants to talk to you about what's real, if he's like, babe, I like the house to be a little bit neater, you might be like, you know what? I got these kids, and I got this, and I got that, and da 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 da. But you're not hearing what he's just trying to say. So you can have a real conversation with him. Right? Quality time. That's the next one. Number 4. This goes both ways. Right? Because a lot of times we think that our quality time might be different than his quality time. How many times have men sacrificed doing the things that we like or watching things that we want? And what does he want to do? And I have here football, motorcycle rides, romance. So in other words, your quality time, you're thinking, I haven't spent quality time with my man, and we need to go out more. Quality time for you might be going on a date. Quality time for you might be just cuddling in bed. What is his quality time? What would he like to do? I put down motorcycle rides because I know for my husband, he likes to go motorcycle riding. And for me, I'm like, motorcycle. Initially, I was like, motorcycle? They're dangerous. I don't want to do it. But I saw how much joy it brought to him. And so I was like, okay, babe. So he got a motorcycle for himself. He has 2 for himself and he has 1 for me. And we both took riding lessons at the same time. I didn't go back on the 3rd day because I wasn't that confident with the bike and the control thing that I have going on. So, but he did. And so I would love to go motorcycle riding with my husband. I'm not worried about it. And yes, I know that there are accidents and so on and so forth, but I pray over him. I cover him. I cover us. I can't cover us and then be fearful at the same time. I believe that we're covered when we go out. And I want him to have fun. He only has 1 life to live. So I want him to do that. If that's something he wants to do, I want to do that with him. So what is quality time for your husband? What is quality time for you? And what is quality time for your husbands? Are you just expecting him to spend quality time doing what you want to do? What is the top 5 things that he would love to do with you? And will you do that with him? Okay, so number 5 is to hear yes more often. Women want to hear yes more often. I put maybe some women have husbands that say no to a lot of different things. I don't have that part. I can't really relate because my husband he's really good and he tries to please me most of the time, honestly. There aren't many things that he says no to unless it's something like just outlandish, like if I'm like, I want to go and buy a plot of land in San Diego. He's like, no, we're not doing that. That's a whole nother thing. But I would say that, and in the back of his mind, he would go start looking at different properties. Like, can we afford this? Can we do it? Because I know she really wants to do. That's how my husband thinks, right? But if my husband said he wanted to move to Montana and buy a farm and get some horses and all types of, buy a ranch, I would be willing to do that because I want him to be happy. I still have to have a house in San Diego somewhere so we could go on vacation tour, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I want him to be happy, right? So I don't know. But if your husband says no to a lot of things, maybe you can start saying yes to him for some things that he really wants to do, and maybe he'll open up and start saying yes to you, because it's like, my wife is the bomb. I just want to please her, because she takes such good care of me, man. I just want to, man, whatever she wants. I'm telling you, that's how that thing works. If you got a good husband. All right, so number 6 is to be heard. This definitely goes both ways too, and that can tie back into number 3, which is real conversations. Men just want to be heard, their ideas, their thoughts, what their reasoning, how they feel about the future, things that they really, really want to do, what's in their heart, how they feel spiritually about God. I mean, things like that. Your husband really wants to be heard. We want to be heard, right? That's what this list says. Women want to be heard also, but men want to be heard equally. Number 7, affection. Women want more affection. This is a very common subject. This is a very common subject, especially when life and busy schedules get in the way. Affection can go out the window. That is so fixable. That is so fixable. And so I put down conversation and execution, right? If you're telling your husband, if you guys are sitting down and you're telling him, hey, I need more affection from you. Like, I don't feel like you love me. I don't feel like you want me. I don't feel like you want to be with me. And I'm not feeling that. I need you to really step up in that department, right? If you sit down and talk to him, 9 times out of 10, if you tell your husband that, he's going to be like, okay, I got you. I'm sorry. And I never meant to make you feel that way, right? But if you have that conversation with him, please ask him, what can I do for you? You don't want this to be one-sided. What can I do to be more affectionate? Do you feel like I don't give you enough affection? If he's like, no, I don't, then say, okay, well, then we both need to do this. Let's execute this. What will it take? What do you need so that you'll feel like I'm being more affectionate towards you? And then you can tell him what it is that you need. Men are creatures that they're made in such a way that we gift them, we give to them, we pour love into them, and then they pour love back. They just do. It's just the way that it is. I'm telling you. So, affection. If your husband, if you guys have already talked about it, or, okay, so 2 things. If you've already talked about it and you notice that he's just not doing it, okay? And you have another conversation. What's it going to take? What do I need to do, right? And then then you can ask him, what do I need to do to make you more affectionate towards me? And then find out his answers and do it, right? Just do it. But if you have a husband that is just not affectionate, and I mean, you knew this from the beginning, like you married this unaffectionate man, you already knew this, that's a whole nother conversation. Then that's a conversation that needs to happen to God, with God. So, because now you're asking God to change him, to get inside of his heart and work within him. Because it's not going to happen overnight. If he's not an affectionate person, it's not going to happen overnight. He's not going to just all of a sudden wake up and be affectionate. It doesn't work like that, right? It has to happen over time. And then you're putting your request to God and telling him the desires of your heart and letting him go to work. So it might not be overnight, like I said. It may be small little things that happen within the next couple of weeks, and then you'll receive from your husband, and you'll be happy. He'll see that, and then he'll want to continue to do that, right? So that's number 7. Number 8, help with daily tasks. I don't know if I have enough time to unpack that one, but help with daily tasks. All right. So one of the main reasons couple fight, this is what the article said, is conflict over who's doing what around the house. Chores and childcare are not the sole responsibility of your wife. Absolutely true. She shouldn't have to ask you to do or share around the house, your share around the house. I don't have my glasses on, guys. So whenever you hear me kind of like going back over words, it's because I don't have my glasses on, but I'm trying. Anyway, you will be a hero in her eyes if you readily help when asked, or even better, take care of some of the chores before she asks. And that's so true. All of that's true. Obviously, we would love for our husbands to pick up more around the house and help with the kids more around the house. And that also is a conversation and execution. Like, babe, this is what I need from you. And then ask him, what do you need from me? Because if it's just a one-sided, hey, babe, I need you to start taking care of the kids more. I need to do this, I need you to do this, and this more. And he's like, all right, babe, I'll try. But at the same time, you got to be like, but babe, also, what can I do? What can I do? What is it that I can do that, that I'm not doing that you would like me to do? And that way you can start doing that, and you guys have like a give and take type of situation. Now, if you're living at home with somebody who just don't do nothing, like he doesn't do anything. I can talk better than that. He doesn't work. He sits around all day and doesn't do anything. He doesn't contribute financially towards the home. And you're just like, I need you to do this, that, and the other. That's a whole nother thing. You married that. I'm sorry. I don't know why. All right. But maybe he wasn't like that. And now he's unemployed, and this is what he's turned into. Anyhow, have a conversation with him. Right. And if that doesn't seem to be working, again, turn that over to God, because God can turn anything around. Seriously, I've seen it happen, so I know. All right, number 9, a day off now and then and time to yourself. Yes, because you have the kids, you have work, whatever you're doing. Sometimes you just need a spa day. Go hang out with your girlfriends and go do some other stuff other than what's going on in the house, right? But let's flip this over to him. He deserves also to have time to himself. Even if he's in his man cave, unbothered. Even if he get to hang out with his friends or go on, like I always talk about motorcycle. If he has a motorcycle, goes motorcycle riding with his friends, or maybe just go hang out with his friends, go play ball or pool or something, or just be in the room quiet with no kid. Get home from work and just give him hours alone. Like, even though you had the kids all day, how about you keep the kids for a whole nother 3 to 4 hours and just let him get home from work and rest. And like, give him his favorite drink and just say, babe, I'll be outside. Just text me if you need anything. And just let him just relax and kick his feet up. He also needs to have time for himself as well. So whatever you can do to make that happen, help him out. And maybe he'll help you out. All right, number 10, to take care of themselves health-wise. But what about you? Okay, so it says to take care of themselves. And the article was talking about health-wise, like, because a lot of men don't like going to the doctors. They don't like taking care of themselves. They don't like being sick. Oh gosh, you know what it's like when a man is sick. But they don't like going to the doctors. They're just like, I'm good, I'm fine. It's the ego type of thing, right? And that's true for a lot of men. And so my question is then, you're asking him to take better care of himself for the family. Are you taking better care of yourself for the family? Think about that. Are you? Do you eat right? Do you exercise? Do you get enough sleep? Do you get time alone with God? Right? Do you get to, I don't know, some people like yoga, or just be able to spend some time. Really, for me, it's with God. But for someone else, it just might be just some time alone, listening to smooth music or whatever your favorite music is. Hopefully it's not some hardcore rap. I'm talking about something that can get you in this calm type of state. Do you take care of yourself? Right? And I'm going to go one step further. Number 11, does he take care of himself physically? Meaning, you want him in the gym. You want him to look good. You don't want him to have a dad bod, right? You're just like, some of us like the dad bod. It's cuddly. But nonetheless, you're like, no, I want him to exercise. I want him to eat right. I want him to, sleep good. I want him to take really good care of himself from that standpoint. And my question to you is, are you doing that for him? Do you work out? Do you eat right? Are you taking care of your body? Do you look good? A lot of us will look at our husbands like, I want him to look good because I want other people looking like, wow. Same. He feels the same way. He wants his wife to look good. Again, not necessarily about losing weight or gaining weight. It's just your confidence you also need to be. But, also the same, going to the gym, working out, getting fit so you guys can live longer together and, and also model that for your children. So those are all the points that were on that list. I guess you guys can go and check it out. But I just think that it's really important for us to include our husbands in our way of thinking and in our feelings as well, because he has feelings too, and a lot of times men don't express it. Gotta go. So, like I was saying, a lot of times men have feelings too, and they don't like to express their feelings. A lot of times they feel like they're not being heard. A lot of times it's their ego. They don't want to seem like, that they don't want to seem soft. They like I'm a man. I can control this, or I don't want to express my feelings. I don't want to seem soft, and a lot of times we really just have to, as wives, we have to have discernment and almost mind read. You really need to know your husband, and you really need to know what's going on with him and in his life. He should be able to come and talk to us, just like we should be able to go and talk to him too. But we are more vocal as wives. We will tell a husband how we feel, won't we? We'll be like, this is how I feel about this is how I feel about that, and all these kids and all this, that, and the other, and I'm frustrated. And we are very vocal people. Sometimes our husbands aren't. Some are. I know some husbands that it comes in the brain, it's coming out the mouth. There's no filter. They gotta make their feelings known. They want to know, they want you to know how they feel at all times, right? But a lot of husbands don't. And so we just have to bear that in mind, right? Because they're walking in this world and they're trying to figure it out, and they're trying to figure out how to be the best husbands, how to be the best fathers, how to be the best sons, how to provide for their family, how to not only make sure that everything is paid for, but that we have more than enough in a savings. And am I going to be able to have all the answers when my kids come to me and when my wife comes to me with something? They really do wear a heavy burden, in a sense, that we as wives are never going to understand, because the world and society expects men to behave in a certain way that they don't expect us to behave in. We don't have that type of pressure. We're really only expect. I'll give you an example, right? I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I've been a stay-at-home mom for years. I have 6 kids, and it's okay if I'm a stay-at-home mom. I could choose to just take time off from work and stay home with my children. Husbands aren't expected to do that. Husbands, in some countries, husbands get the same amount of time off from work, but here in America, that's not the case. Men don't get that type of time off like that. I mean, it gets maybe a few weeks off, but then it's like, gotta go back to work. Men are expected to do certain things that we women aren't expected to do. And so that was just one small example, but men are supposed to have it all figured out. And a lot of times men don't have it all figured out. And that is frustrating for men. It's very frustrating. So it's great when we as wives can just be his helpmate, like God created us to be. So we can figure out, hey, babe, what's going on? What we need, because we're a team. You don't have this all by yourself. I don't want you to feel that way. I want you to understand that, yes, you are the man of this household. And yes, God made you have a certain role as husband, as leader of this family, right? But you're not by yourself. I'm your ride or die. I'm your Bonnie or Clyde to your Bonnie to your Clyde. Shout out to Clyde and Bonnie. Thank you for your support, and thank you for subscribing. I just wanted to say hi. And hi to Nikki and Lisa and oh gosh, who am I forgetting? I have so many other people and Lily. Thank you so much for being like my early supporters. I really truly appreciate you guys. But anyway, the Bonnie to his Clyde, right? We are the ride or die. And so my husband's not going through this life by himself. I love that he knows that he can count on me, he can trust me, and that I'm his best friend, and I got his back. Like, seriously, I got his back. I'm on my knees for that man, like praying for my husband. I'm on my knees praying for my husband, and I just want to cover him and just love him. So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in, and that's it for this episode. Those were the 10 things that wives want from their husbands, but I just wanted to switch that around and see, what it is that husbands may want from us is too equally. Same list. There's another list though that this website has, and it's the top 10 things or 10 things that husbands want from their wives. So we'll unpack that another time. And I actually am thinking about doing that one with my husband. Oh gosh, you guys are gonna love my husband. He is a hoot. He is funny. And when I mentioned one of those people that if it comes through the brain, it comes out the mouth, no filter, he got that from his mama. Yes, he did. She has that same issue. Like, so I don't know. I don't have a 10-second delay. Like, it's just going to be him and his rawness. It is what it is. I love him so much. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. And I will see you guys on Friday. So bye for now.